You're not allowed to videotape people without their consent. That's a law. It's a law in this state. All right, so I'm going to talk about agent-related expenses. Why do you care about agent-related expenses? Well, you saw my staff there. I pay for those people, right? I mean, I pay for them to work on your transaction, which is a good thing. You pay me to pay them. However, what's interesting is most people in real estate, they don't have anyone working on your behalf. They're all things to all people. So they do the sign in the lockbox and the transaction of the file and the paperwork and the follow-up and the sales and the showings and all the, so it becomes very difficult. And it's interesting when we interview against agents that are individual agents versus an agent like myself. It's not a team model. It's an agent with leverage, meaning that I'm delegating all the things that you want me to delegate. So anyways, let's talk about what you really care about as a consumer. Why would I tell you about that, right? So a couple things that come to mind is, why would I care about what the agent's expenses are? And why would I care what company the agent's at, right? Well, the fact of the matter is, agents choose companies because they're cheaper to work at. I choose to be at a company that is a premium service company, very similar to what I am as an agent, which is a premium service agent. That does not mean that you pay me more. In some cases, that means, well, here's what this means. It's interesting. What it means is you can hire other agents for less commission, and then they can lose more of your money on the transaction. That's exactly what happens, by the way. So, well, they're X percent and you're X percent more. You pay every time they make a mistake. You pay when they don't have experience. You pay when they don't know what to say. You pay when they don't know how to negotiate. You pay when they do anything wrong. You're the one that pays the bill. So when it comes to commission, here's the deal. If it was just pay an agent less money, get the same result, there wouldn't even be agents, by the way. It would just be Zillow taking over the world, which everybody's afraid of. And that can't and won't happen because you need people that actually know what they're doing to call and say the right things in order to make the deal happen, right? Now, if there was any other way, I would be looking for something else to do. I'd look for another career. Every other business model has been disrupted by Amazon or by somebody else, okay? The reason that real estate has not been disrupted is because you really need people that know what they're doing in order to manage those transactions in order to make the most money. Now, there's agents that think that they've disrupted the industry by charging less commission. That's not a disruption. That's a disruption to your mindset that agents have any value, because most of them don't, and because most of them don't try to add value, and so they're just trying to get their price down. If you actually have an agent that knows exactly what to do and exactly what to say and exactly how to get you there on time, and all of those things are combined, it's never an issue paying for that service, because it's just a question of how much more money am I going to put in your pocket at the end of the deal. Does that make sense? So back to the company thing. Why would I care if you're at ReeceNichols or Keller Williams or Better Homes and Gardens or any of these companies? There are consumer-based companies like ReeceNichols, which means they spend time and energy and money on the brand, which means that when consumers do business with the brand, they know it and they trust it. If you think of other brands like that, other Berkshire Hathaway brands, by the way, because Berkshire Hathaway owns ReeceNichols, right? And Berkshire Hathaway owns Nebraska Furniture Mart and Fruit of the Loom. Now, a lot of people, I guess, could probably make cheaper underwear, but you see the name Fruit of the Loom and you assume that there's more value in it. Maybe that's not a great example, but it's an example. And the example is people trust ReeceNichols. They trust that name, they trust that brand, because it's been around for 50 years. Not that they don't specifically trust other brands, but they don't know subconsciously that maybe they're not paying attention to those brands or they're not willing to pay as much. This jacket at Nordstrom is worth more than it is out of the trunk of my car. It's just worth more. It's the same jacket, it's the same service, it's the same blazer, it's the same deal. But at Nordstrom, you trust that, you pay more, there's service. If there's a problem, there's someone who can take care of it. If I have to call for a manager, there is a manager. If I need to talk to a broker, we have one. If I need to sue somebody, sometimes consumers need to sue somebody, I actually have somebody that I can sue. You know that for sale by owners often claim that the reason that they most decided to hire an agent was so if something went wrong, there was someone to blame. So true. That's a good thing, by the way. It's a great thing that when you hire me, that you have someone who's accountable and you have someone to blame. If there's mistakes, they happen. Somebody can stand behind that mistake. When you're working at a company that has no broker, has no budget, has no corporate overhead, has no structure in place, who are you going to sue? What are you going to get? What accountability is there to the transaction? From a very high level, it has to make sense as a consumer that you look at that option and say, I want someone who pays a company to have these services behind the scenes. Even if I never need those things, why wouldn't I have them? Especially if I can get them at a very reasonable price or at a price that puts more money in my pocket. Which, by the way, the only reason that people hire me, and I truly believe this, is because I can get them more money. Not because they pay me more. They never pay me more. They get more. That's the only way that I stay in business. So just a little riff, if you will. I wanted to talk about that. If you think of some other topics, post them in the comments below. Love to chat with you about it, even if you don't agree with some of these things. I have agents that watch the channel too that may want to comment and say, oh, I can provide a certain service at my company. I'd love to hear from those people too, because it is an ongoing debate. It's not for everybody. It's not 100% of the time that you have to use me, right? But everything I said in this video is absolutely true. And I believe that you should consider what we do if you're thinking about buying or selling a house. If I didn't think that, I wouldn't be on here making videos trying to convey my message, right? But message me, send me a comment here, call me at the office if you like, easy to find. Anything you want, let me know. I'm not going to edit these, by the way. I'm just going to post these videos up on YouTube. So I apologize if it's not perfect, doesn't have good music, doesn't have exactly what you think it should have. But I'm just going to post it every day. See ya.